Right. So have you ever felt like reality is just one giant cosmic joke?
Yeah.
Strap in.
Uh-huh.
Because today's deep dive is going to make you question everything. You thought you knew about alien encounters. We're talking about a story so outlandish,
Yeah.
so hilariously over the top that it has to be satire.
It's like someone took all the classic sci-fi tropes, cranked them up to 11,
Right.
and then sprinkled in a healthy dose of, wait, is this guy serious?
Yeah.
It's fascinating how the story, even with its more, let's say, creative elements,
Yeah.
manages to poke fun at some pretty deep-seated human anxieties.
You got it. We're diving headfirst into the alleged experiences of Zeng Yongchen, a Chinese farmer who claims he's been hanging out with aliens since he was a kid.
Wow.
But these aren't your typical grazing a flying saucer kind of aliens.
Okay.
We're talking tiny, sexy beings who teleport, live in virtual reality cities,
Yeah.
and apparently have a global energy network powered by a Dyson sphere.
I mean,
Right.
from the get-go, you can see how the story plays with our expectations.
Yeah.
It's like a parody of the overly serious, overly dramatic alien encounters we see in movies and TV shows.
Right.
Zhang describes these aliens with a level of detail that's almost comical.
Yeah?
Like he's deliberately trying to make us laugh.
Okay, so imagine this. 9-year-old Zhang is lying in bed, seriously ill,
Oh, wow.
basically expecting to kick the bucket any minute.
Oh, no.
Suddenly, the walls start glowing, red figures emerge, and he's whisked away in wait for it, a bucket.
A bucket.
I mean, who gets abducted in a bucket?
It's a brilliant touch of absurdity,
Right.
and it's not just the mode of transport. Zhang describes these aliens as being incredibly attractive, even sexy.
Wow.
Which immediately clashes with the typical image of cold clinical extraterrestrials. It's like he's satirizing our own obsession with physical beauty, suggesting that even hyper-intelligent aliens wouldn't be immune to such base instincts.
Right. So this Bucket Express takes him to a massive cylindrical spaceship 20 meters in diameter,
Wow.
which then whisks him off to their home planet, Gwilkissing,
Gwilkissing.
a name that translates to Science Nation.
Okay.
Already a pretty strong hint about where this story is going.
And that's where things get really interesting.
Yeah.
The aliens give Zhang a grand tour of their planet, showcasing their technology, their society, their way of life.
Okay.
But instead of being awestruck, Zhang seems more bemused than anything else. He describes their virtual reality rooms, their teleportation systems, even their ability to transmute elements at will, all with this detached, almost ironic tone.
It's like he's saying, yeah, you can turn water into gold, big whoop.
Right.
Seen it all before.
Exactly.
And the way he describes their global motion network is just priceless.
Oh, yeah.
This all-powerful system controls everything on their planet, from the weather to transportation to the distribution of resources. It's like the ultimate nanny state taken to a ridiculous extreme.
What's fascinating here is how Zhang's story subtly critiques our own anxieties about technology and control. We live in a world where algorithms increasingly dictate our choices, where surveillance is becoming more and more pervasive.
Right.
Zhang's aliens represent a kind of hyper-evolved version of this trend, a society where individual freedom has been completely subsumed by the needs of the collective.
And don't even get me started on the aliens' explanation for why they bother with Earth at all.
Right.
They're not here for our resources.
No.
Remember, they can literally make anything they need.
Right.
They're not here to conquer us. They seem utterly indifferent to our petty conflicts.
Okay.
Well, they're here because they find us amusing.
It's the ultimate cosmic put-down, isn't it?
Yeah.
We like to think of ourselves as the pinnacle of creation.
Right.
But according to Zhang, we're just a source of entertainment for these super advanced beings.
Wow.
They're watching us fumble around on this little blue planet, shaking their heads at our follies and laughing at our self-importance.
The aliens explain that they have encased their sun in a giant structure to capture all its energy, a Dyson sphere. And I can't help but wonder if that's a sly nod to our own obsession with renewable energy.
Oh, interesting.
It's like Zhang is saying, look, even these super advanced aliens are worried about their carbon footprint.
What's even more amusing is the way Zhang describes the aliens' origin story.
Okay.
They believe they were created by lightning.
You're kidding, right?
Yeah.
Like a bolt from the blue zaps some rocks and poof, out popped these highly evolved telepathic aliens.
It's so absurd it has to be intentional.
Right.
And it plays into our fascination with simple explanations for complex phenomena.
Yeah.
We want to believe there's a grand unifying theory for everything, even the origins of life itself. But Zeng's story suggests that the answer might be far more random.
Yeah.
Far more chaotic than we'd like to admit.
And this is only the beginning, folks. Zeng's alien adventures are just getting started. So far, we've got tiny, sexy aliens who teleport, live in a perfectly controlled society powered by a Dyson sphere, and believe they were created by lightning.
It's a wild, hilarious, and surprisingly thought-provoking mix of science fiction satire and social commentary.
Right.
And as we delve deeper into Zeng's story, we'll see how he uses these fantastical elements to expose our own human foibles, our anxieties, and our often absurd ways of thinking.
All right, so stay tuned.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Sounds good. Now, you mentioned those virtual reality rooms.
Uh-huh.
Zeng claims these aliens can create entire virtual environments indistinguishable from reality.
Oh, why?
Buildings that change size depending on how many people are inside.
Yeah, like a hyper-advanced version of those video games where the world adapts to your actions.
Right.
But here's where it gets really trippy.
Okay.
Zeng suggests these aliens might have even created virtual beings, artificial intelligences so advanced they can't tell they're not real.
Imagine that a society so technologically sophisticated they've blurred the lines between reality and simulation. It makes you wonder about our own perception of reality, doesn't it?
Right?
What if we're living in a simulation and we're just not advanced enough to know it?
Okay, that's both fascinating and kind of terrifying. But let's get back to Zeng.
Yeah.
This guy's got more alien encounters than episodes of a hit streaming show.
Wow.
He claims he was repeatedly abducted over the years, each time learning a bit more about these Science Nation folks.
And this is where Zeng's story starts to feel like a satire of our own thirst for knowledge and self-improvement.
Okay.
He portrays himself as this blank slate, a simple farmer who's being enlightened by these superior beings, but the knowledge they impart is often presented in a way that's both profound and ridiculous.
Like that moment when Zeng suddenly has an epiphany about the nature of light and space after reading about Einstein's theory of relativity. It's like, did he tap into some cosmic knowledge database while hanging out with the aliens?
Yeah.
Or did he just have a really good cup of coffee that day?
Exactly. It's a brilliant parody of the Eureka moment. That sudden flash of insight that supposedly unlocks the mysteries of the universe. But in Zeng's case, the insight he receives is a jumbled mix of legitimate physics and pure nonsense.
He claims light, i.e. space. And the speed of light seems constant because we're within that space. Now, there's a grain of truth there. Einstein's theories do challenge our intuitive understanding of space and time.
Right.
But Zeng's interpretation is deliberately oversimplified, almost childlike.
It's as if he's mocking our attempts to grapple with these incredibly complex concepts.
Right.
We want easy answers, simple explanations, but the universe rarely obliges.
Yeah.
And Zeng's aliens seem to be having a good laugh at our expense.
Speaking of laughing, remember that part where Zeng describes the alien zoo?
The alien zoo.
Apparently they have these giant sea serpents that are completely harmless thanks to the all-powerful global motion network.
It's a hilarious image, isn't it?
Yeah.
These terrifying creatures rendered docile by some kind of cosmic leash. It's like Zeng is satirizing our own desire to control nature, to tame the wild and unpredictable. These aliens have achieved ultimate control, but at what cost?
Their society seems sterile, almost robotic.
Yeah.
Everyone's needs are met, everything is perfectly regulated, but there's no room for spontaneity, for individuality, for fun.
Right.
It's like they've traded freedom for comfort, and Zeng's story seems to be asking if that's a trade-off we'd be willing to make.
And let's not forget the aliens' explanation for how life arose in the universe. Lightning strikes.
Wait, seriously?
Yes.
So we're all just products of random electrical storms talk about a shocking origin story.
It's so absurd it has to be satire.
Right.
And it plays into our tendency to seek grand unifying theories for everything. We want a simple, elegant explanation for the origins of life, but the reality is probably much messier, much more chaotic.
Zeng's aliens offer us a simple, almost comical explanation, perhaps as a way of highlighting how little we truly understand about the universe.
Right.
It's like they're saying, hey, you humans think you're so smart, but you can't even figure out where you came from.
And it's not just about origins.
Okay.
Remember, these aliens claim to have mastered element transmutation. We can turn water into gold, literally.
Yeah. It's like they've achieved the ancient alchemist's dream.
But there's a deeper message here.
What's that?
By granting his alien characters this seemingly magical ability, Zhang subtly critiques human greed and our obsession with material possessions.
Okay.
These aliens have transcended the need for scarcity.
Yeah.
They have everything they could possibly want, but they still find us fascinating. Why?
Maybe they're studying our self-destructive tendencies, our obsession with accumulating wealth and power, our inability to see beyond our own immediate needs.
It's a humbling thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here we are thinking we're the center of the universe, and these aliens are watching us like a cosmic reality TV show, wondering when we'll finally evolve past our petty squabbles.
It's like they're saying, look, we've got unlimited resources, advanced technology, and we can literally create anything we want.
Right.
But you know what's truly fascinating?
Yeah.
Watching you humans struggle with your primitive emotions and your insatiable desire for more. So these aliens, they've like cracked the code to utopia, right? Unlimited energy, advanced tech, ability to create anything they desire.
Yeah.
But there's this underlying sense that it's not all sunshine and roses on Planet Science Nation.
Precisely. Zhang's story, while satirical hints at the potential pitfalls of such absolute control,
Okay.
he describes a society that's lost touch with nature, with individuality, even with the concept of free will.
It's like they've engineered out all the messy, unpredictable aspects of existence, leaving them with a world that's efficient but soulless.
Right.
Kind of makes you appreciate our own chaotic little planet, doesn't it?
And this brings us back to Zeng.
Go.
Why was HE chosen for these encounters? He claims it's because he was pure and uncorrupted by the complexities of modern society.
So they wanted a guinea pig who wouldn't try to hack their global motion network or start a cryptocurrency scheme using their element transmutation tech.
Perhaps, but there's a deeper layer of satire here.
Okay.
By choosing a simple farmer as his protagonist, Zeng is subtly mocking the intellectual elite. He's suggesting that true understanding might come from unexpected sources, from those who haven't been indoctrinated by conventional wisdom.
It's like the aliens are saying, forget your fancy degrees and complicated equations.
Right.
This guy who spends his days tending crops gets it.
Yeah.
I have a humbling thought for those of us who pride ourselves on our intellectual prowess.
Indeed. And let's not forget the whole sexy alien element.
Oh, yeah.
It's a detail that's both hilarious and thought-provoking.
I mean, where did that even come from?
Yeah.
Are we really supposed to believe that these super advanced beings are concerned with physical attractiveness?
Remember, satire often uses exaggeration to highlight absurdity by making his aliens sexy. Zeng is poking fun at our own obsession with beauty, our tendency to project our own values and desires onto the unknown.
It's like he's saying, hey, even if we encounter a species that's a million years ahead of us technologically, we'll still judge them based on their looks.
And the fact that these aliens have 3 genders, including a neutral gender, further emphasizes the satirical element.
Oh, wow.
Zeng is challenging our own rigid social constructs, suggesting that a truly advanced society might embrace a more fluid and accepting understanding of gender and relationships.
So we've got aliens who can transmute elements, control the weather, and create virtual reality. They're obsessed with lightning. Think viruses are the coolest thing since sliced bread and apparently find humans endlessly amusing.
Right.
What's the takeaway here?
Zeng's story, while undeniably outlandish, serves as a funhouse mirror reflection of ourselves. It exaggerates our anxieties about technology, our obsession with material wealth, and our rigid social norms, forcing us to confront the absurdity of it all.
It's a reminder to not take ourselves too seriously.
Yeah.
To question our assumptions about the universe and our place in it, and to embrace the possibility that the truth might be stranger and sunnier than we ever imagined.
So is Zeng Yongchen a visionary, a fabulist, or just a really good storyteller with a wicked sense of humor?
Right.
Perhaps he's a bit of all 3, but one thing's for sure, his story leaves us with a lot to think about.
Yeah.
And maybe even a few chuckles along the way.
What do you think? Did Zeng crack the code of the cosmos, or is he just pulling our collective leg? Let us know your thoughts, and until next time, keep exploring those deep, strange corners of the world. And remember, sometimes the truth is so bizarre it can only be expressed through satire.